When you cross that magic number of 50 years old, you start thinking about life a little bit differently. You start approaching life a little bit differently. And just the way you make decisions is different. Here are just a few things I really started focusing on, a few things I stopped doing, and a few things I started doing when I hit 50 years old. Number one, I really started focusing more on my health. I've always been someone into sports, someone into trying to stay in shape, but never really knew the importance of it until I got a little bit older. I mean, it's 15 degrees today. I'm still out on my daily walk, trying to get my steps in, trying to stay healthy, trying to stay vibrant, because you know, we're out here on this channel usually talking about saving money, building wealth, your investments and things like that. But what's the point of any of that if you're not healthy and you're broken down by the time you get to retirement? Another thing that's changed is eliminating the importance of things and stuff, and instead focusing my resources on trying to have better experiences. If there's a place you want to go, an experience you want to have, some activity you want to do, an event you want to attend, the older you get, the more you realize how important those things are as compared to buying the next new shiny toy or shiny thing out there. Having those great experiences will bring you a lot more happiness. As you get older, you realize you don't have any time for drama in your life. So one thing you'll find yourself doing as you get older is eliminating negativity, and specifically negative people from your life. You get over 50 and you start realizing you probably have less life left than you've lived, which is kind of a hard-hitting reality, right? But that's okay. That's the reality of life. But with those remaining years that you have, whether it's 25, 30, 40, 50 years, you don't want to be surrounded by negative people, negativity. So the older you get, you'll find yourself eliminating that kind of stuff for your life. Do that younger if you can. As far as finances go, you really start to focus on retirement because you're probably, hopefully, closer to the end of your career than the beginning. And if you haven't saved enough to this point, it's time to get really serious, crank up how much you're saving, how much you're putting back to try to catch up. Now, if you're a little younger than 50 and watching this, hoping for some wise words from an older guy, crank that up now. If you're in your 30s or 40s, get that savings rate up, because when you hit 50, you're really going to start focusing on it. Sometimes you can focus on that a little too much, so don't do that, but realize the importance of it and really lock in, because when you cross that 50-year-old mark, you're really going to understand how much time you don't have left to build that nest egg that's going to set you up for a secure, fulfilling retirement. The older you get, the more basic you get, or at least the more basic I've gotten. You'll really stop chasing trends in retirement. Your wardrobe, the cars you drive, the watches you wear, all that kind of stuff changes. I found myself still buy decent stuff, but you know, plain black t-shirt or a plain hoodie and some Levi's or Wranglers and some decent tennis shoes is all the guy needs. I'm not out there trying to chase the latest trends. I figure if I buy some quality, solid clothes, that the trends will chase me and it'll eventually all come back around. But that becomes less and less important the older you get. Another thing I became fully aware of when I crossed 50 was the importance of getting rid of debt. When you have 20 years of career left, a set of payments on a big pile of living room furniture or a new car or whatever it is don't seem as daunting as when you have less than a decade left to retirement. Hopefully less than a decade left. So avoiding debt becomes a major issue, a major focus for those of us over 50, or at least it should. Really, this starts when you hit 40, but when you hit 50 and you start to look around, you start seeing people you went to high school with, people you went to college with, people that you just know start to pass away. And it's tragic and sad, and you hate to see the loss for friends and family members that lose someone, but it's people your age. You're seeing the reality, your mortality shows up because people your age are starting to pass away. Even celebrities you followed or athletes you might have grown up watching are starting to pass away. And while it's very sad, it's a reality check to you that time is limited. So hopefully what that does when you see that is it switches your mindset to want to spend more time with the people that you care the most about and you have the best time with. Spend that quality time with those family and friends before it's too late. The older you've gotten, is there anything else that you have stopped doing? Anything you plan to stop doing? Anything you stopped doing now? Drop that in the comments. I'll see you guys on the next video.